Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Ignite with Mwangala with me, Mwangala Chakalashi Santos. Now, today I'm beyond excited because the guest has been on Ignite before, but today we decided to talk more about who she is. The last time she was here, we were talking about her music. We are still going to talk about her music, but let's get to find out more. Who is Maureen Lilanda? She's coming for the second time. Auntie Mo, welcome to Ignite with Mwangala.
Thank you, Mwangala. I'm very pleased to be here.
The second time, remember the first time I told you you're coming back again?
Imagine.
And you were very hesitant. Oh, maybe. But here you are.
No, I just had to come. I couldn't resist.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
So what are you up to now that we are living in this new normal?
Trying to re-strategize, trying to see how we make money without having our shows. So everything is happening online.
Yeah.
And one of the avenues is new music. So I'm in studio at the moment.
Fantastic. I didn't think you'd go back there.
I have been. I've never really stopped. You know, it's just that I haven't released an album for, last year I did.
Yeah.
But over the years, I've been releasing like 2 singles. So I haven't really been quiet. I've been there.
That's in your DNA. That's who you are.
That's my DNA.
So do you want us to talk about your music a little bit, especially the album that you're working on, or is it premature to start talking about it now?
No, there's nothing wrong. We can talk about it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the music we expect on that, or rather, what are some of the songs we expect on that album?
I've gone back to my usual style where I try and sing in as many languages from Zambia, because I believe we're one Zambia, one nation. Most of the topics are on love. Imagine. So it's.
Are you in love?
I wish I were, Mwangala. I don't know. Isn't it too late for me?
Not at all. Not at all.
Someone over 50 to fall in love.
There's nothing wrong with that. I've seen women that have gotten married after 70.
Okay.
You're still young. 50 is nothing.
I receive it.
Are you looking?
I'm not looking, but
you are waiting.
Yes. It would be nice if it happened, but I'm not looking.
So that door is not closed?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's really open now.
Oh, fantastic. So there you have it. The door is open. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe that's why I'm in the mood of, because for some reason, some of the songs are written on my own and some of the songs are written for me. But even when I told people to say, okay, I'd like a song in this language, it was just revolving around love. I don't know whether that's a hint. So most of the songs on the album are on love. But as usual, in my normal, what's the word? But anyway, in my normal fashion, I always have one gospel song on my albums, and I have another gospel song on this album. So yeah, it's the complete Maureen package.
Oh, fantastic.
And I'm feeding into the traditional aspect as well. So I've had a lot of traditional musicians playing on this album. So if I'm doing a Luvale song, I've brought in the Luvale guys to come and play. If I'm doing a Bemba song, I brought in the Bemba guys. So it's a nice, richer sound, I think.
Fantastic. So you're incorporating everybody from all parts of this country?
Well, not all, because an album can only have so many songs. So at least at least 4 major languages I have used.
Okay. So before we talk about who you really are as Maureen, let's talk about love a little bit. I mean, I'm more intrigued. I mean, you've just intrigued me when you talk about love, because you're glowing and I'm thinking she should be in love. What is your definition of love? And what are you looking for? Because I'm sure the men have now increased the volume. Like, Maureen Lilanda, looking for love?
I think love should be happiness. Love should be peace.
Yeah.
And the relationship between 2 people, when they're in love, should be friendship. I think that's what I would sum love up to be.
So friendship is key.
It is. It is. If you're not getting on with your partner, so many things can go wrong. I think you should have a friend before you have a partner. So, yeah, it's very key.
Okay, great. Now, let's talk about who Maureen is. Aside music, aside being a mother, who would you say you are?
I think the core of my being is a businesswoman. My mother was a businesswoman, and I think I inherited that from her. So for a long time, in the early 90s, I remember, I think I was one of the first people to have set up a business center. So I ran that for like about 7 years, Contact Bureau, Anchor House. And I remember back in the day, emails were not so common, I was one of the first person to have email. And imagine I would receive email on behalf of people. So before they even got their message, I've read it because I had to print it out for them. And
Wow.
so I'm a businesswoman. I experiment with so many things. I've done tailoring and designing. I've done cake baking and decorating. I'm now trying my hand at farming. So I'm a businesswoman, and I consider my music a business as well. I don't run it just as by the way as my father thought it would be.
Yeah.
For me, it must make sense business-wise. So before I am an artist, I think I'm a business person at heart. Yeah, I need to survive.
And that's who you are.
That's who I am.
Oh, great.
I'm a hustler.
I like that. Now, Maureen, I know you were widowed at a very young age. You experienced property grabbing. Take us through that story and that time. What was that like for you?
Oh, at the time, obviously it was stressful. I was married to Stephen Mkuka. He worked for Zambia Airways. He was, I think, his mother's favorite. That's the way it came out to me. So I was sort of like a rival to her. And then, of course, it's not always that people give you the thumbs up when a marriage is being proposed. I think she had a preferred candidate for the son. So for my husband, it was like, why do you want to marry an artist? Because he found me an artist. These are just problems. She's not going to take you anywhere and all that. But he stuck by me. He supported me through and through. We got married. So from the word go, I had that resistance from my in-laws. So unfortunately, after Zambia Airways was closed down, he went through depression, and I was too young. First of all, I didn't even know what depression was. So I thought his behavior for me was just being childish. I thought he was just not getting to grips of losing a job. And I told him, look, you can do other things, because I was industrious. I thought, do something as well. We all can't be in an office. But unfortunately, he didn't take it well. And before I knew it, he died. And I only got to know that it was depression because he had a doctor friend who sat me down. But then by then he was so far gone, who was counseling me and said, look, what he's going through is depression. I didn't know how to handle it. I think I handled it because what I know now about depression and being older and wiser, I think I would have handled him better. I don't think I helped the situation, but not because I didn't want to help it. I just didn't know. And then I had young children. So I'm worrying about, I think my last born was in grade 1 when my husband died. So you can imagine, they're quite young, they need the attention. So I had all those, I had my business running at Contact Bureau, I had my music. And at that time, I was heavily touring. I had, my tours were back to back. I remember, when I came back, I think I'd been home like a month when he passed on. So you can imagine even that. So it means I was even away at some point. I wasn't handling the situation right. And so because of that background, they did not like Maureen Lilanda. I know my mother-in-law started appreciating me only after he lost his job. Because life was going on. Nothing had changed. Lifestyle was still the same. Because
maintaining everything.
The money was still coming in. And that's when that's the only time she, I think, realized to say, oh, she actually works. And she actually has an impact on this family because nothing really has changed. So, but anyway, by then our relationship was strained. And when he died, because he was working in Zambia Airways, he had maintained a Zambia Airways flat. And I also had my own. But because of the distance, his flat was in Emmersdale. My flat was in Nasa Road. But because of school runs and all that, we decided we'd keep mine and keep the Zambia Airways flat for his brothers. So we're maintaining 2 homes. So everything of his remained in his home, and everything in my house remained in my home. So when he passed on, unfortunately, before he could even, and I'm sorry, it's not like I want to, because I know my in-laws are still around, it's not like I want to put them down in front of people, but it's something that happened, and it's something that affected me.
Yeah.
It's something that hurt, and maybe they've never known how much it hurt me. It did. So I say this truthfully and with respect, and not to put them down. They might watch this, but it happened. And so my husband passed on in hospital, and there was some gathering in the car park, and they were arguing amongst themselves. And when he passed on, actually, I was actually working. He died on a Valentine's Day. So my sister had just come to get me from work. That was Polo Grill, I think, at the time. And you see, I was so young and naive, it didn't occur to me that I saw her come, she was in Chitenga and everything, and we've come to get you, and it didn't click.
That something had gone on.
And I'm saying, but why did you follow me and all that? So for me, I was semi-dressed in a stage outfit. They just gave me Chitenga and said, look, we need to go. And it's only when we passed home that we were going to the hospital that it started occurring to me that something went wrong. So I'm there now, they're talking in the car, they're looking at me, and I'm saying, I'm sure they're just talking about me and the way I've dressed and all that, not knowing it was deeper. And so first of all, they said it won't be, they were arguing about where they were hosting the funeral without my input. And this is my husband. I've just been told he's still in bed. He hasn't been taken to the mortuary. And then I'm being told, but we need to go now to your house to go and get what belongs to you. If it's Bemba, and that's our tradition. And I'm like, okay. My mother was Bemba.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, but I know Bemba.
Yeah, so what's
I
happening
don't know that part of the tradition. And my father says, no, just go along with what they say. Let's see where this is going.
Go.
And so from the hospital, we went to the house, and they thought, okay, so we've come to get whatever belongs to him. So that was the interesting part. I said, okay, I told my sister, I said, I'm just going to pack his clothes, because everything else in here is mine. So I packed everything, and they demanded for the mattress and all that. That's like hours after my husband has passed on.
That was before you even buried him?
He's just passed on. This is happening before he's even taken to the mortuary, I believe. I've always said they were fighting before he was even taken off the bed.
Yeah.
And I said, well, they've treated me this way. I will treat them the way they want to be treated. I said, I'm not giving them anything else, because they said they want his things.
Yeah.
And then there was only one thing that he had brought from his flat, and that was a TV, which he had given the children in their room. I said, well, if they want, they can take the TV. That's in the children's room. But everything else, they're not touching. And so there was again fracas in the living room, and I said, explain to them that everything that was in Emmersdale was left in Emmersdale. So if they want anything from my husband, rather than what I've given from here, then they're joking. So anyway, so it's happened a few hours, and I remember I was so upset. I didn't even put them in suitcases. I just took the bedsheet, put everything, and tied the chifurukutu.
Yeah.
So even that upset them.
So they expected you to pack nicely in bags?
Yes, in a suitcase. And then I'm like, no, you've treated me ill. I will treat you the way you want to be treated. So it wasn't really nice. So I was a victim of property grabbing, but it backfired in that they forgot that we're maintaining 2 homes. Yeah. And I don't know what had happened in his home to his, and that's what quashed it. So meaning, had I been in his home, I would have been struck clean. Yeah. So, and I've always, for me in my life, I've always said God has always been before me. There are always situations that happen, and then I thank God for how it has happened, because I remember when we were worrying on which house we were going to live in. I for some reason, I just stood firm and said, no, we're keeping the one that is closer to town. We're not going to keep that one. And I thought, this is what God knew.
Yeah.
He knows your every step before you're born, and he knew that this was going to happen, and let me secure you and have you stay here. And I thanked God for that. My relationship really wasn't so good with my in-laws. I thought the one sister-in-law that I got on with passed on much, much earlier. And then the other sister-in-law that is still alive, I thought we got on until that night. You know.
You saw the other side of her.
Yeah, well, not really, because I'd always heard whispers that she didn't like me. So, you know, you try and win them over, but I failed to.
Sure. Why do you think they didn't like you? Was it because you were an artist?
Yes, I think other than anything, it was because we have mutual friends, and they would come and tell me, "Oh, Lilanda, oh, So yeah, I think it was because of the music.
Did that affect you in any way?
No, because by then, you know, you get so much backlash being an artist, even from society, from family, from friends. As I said last time, I've lost quite a number of friends just because I am an artist. But they don't take you for who you are. And unfortunately for my in-laws, it took them a while, because then they saw that I am highly domesticated. I will shine floors. I will come from stage, and if I'm hungry, I will cook my shima. There's nothing diva about Maureen.
Really?
No. If you come to when you're at my house, the attire I wear is normally chitenge, patapata, t-shirt, all those that know me. And even now, all these things I've had to learn, because my family just had to say, okay, Maureen, you're a public figure. You know,
you forget that you're a public figure. For you have to be everywhere, because that's who you are.
For me, you know, I've really improved. In the past, it was just take me or leave it. You know, I'm going to the supermarket the same way I was at home. I just go, no bride. They had to, What saved me is that there was no social media. Had it been now, they would have killed me down. They would have killed me. But by then, it was still, you know, at least when they see you, it stays there, they gossip about you.
Yeah,
I had people even who would see me on stage, and I was, is she the same one?
True.
The one we saw.
True.
Because
strange,
Dracula too. So I think with time, they came to understand that, look, she's just human, and that's just a job. You know, I mean, even those that know me, have known me over the years, I'm one person who, after I've just jumped off stage, you won't even know I've gone, because I've gone home. I'm not one to patronize, socialize, I will leave. As soon as I finish, I will leave. So I think they got to understand, to say, look, this is just her job.
Yeah.
Let's not. But by then, I was too hurt. You know, I just tolerated them, if that's the word I can use. I was being civil with them, and I didn't want to break any bonds or whatever. I had children with this family. Eventually I think she got to understand me. I don't know if, and even now, well, we talk once in a while. I must say our relationship is better than when I was married to the husband, but it's not like we go out of our way to check on each other. No, I mean, none of them really, and because I was left with such young children, you know, when death occurs, you now start thinking school fees.
I know. Yeah, you start.
I'm sure she's going to be a problem. So none of them did check on my children.
You managed all the way.
All the way.
Have you forgiven them?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I mean, my children are truly blessings. You know, especially with the help of I lost my mother quite young. With the help of my father, he stepped in as a father. He gave wise counsel to my children, and I thank God that they listened. I was still touring quite a bit, so there were times where I had to leave them with an elderly man and some of my siblings. So it's easy for children to go astray. Yeah. You know, after Onibambuye, you know, and all that. But they stayed focused. He was a wise man, the wisest man in my opinion. And he gave them wise counsel, and they stuck to it. And for years later, I saw my daughter's little diary where she had dedicated her education to her grandfather. She says, "I will do this for my grandfather." Oh, wow. And it was only when we only when we moved home, I found it, and I said, Chilisha, look what I have found. Yeah. And she says, I've been looking for this, you know. They've all done university. I thank God that they all have jobs. They're okay. None of they drink, but they know how to control it. I've really been blessed. To be honest,
you've done a good job as a mother.
I think it's a combination, my dear, because you can try to be a good mother, but if your children also just refuse to listen and to do what you want to do, it's both of us. It's a give and take thing. So yeah, I thank my children. They've made me proud. Yes, we have our fights. Even last night, this morning, I'm not talking to my daughter actually. But yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know daughters are always checking, Mommy, is this the dress you're wearing for the interview?
She is my biggest critic right now.
I can imagine.
Oh,
it's like, I don't care. This is a dress. Whether you like it or not, this is it.
I wore dungarees yesterday. She goes, now you know how to dress. Not those big tents that you like to wear. They make you look bigger. I have no regrets. I have no hate for my in-laws. I actually even try to get my children to try and get in touch with them. But they say, you see, like for especially my son, he actually can't even remember his father. So what more?
Still very young.
So what more relatives that were not in the picture, and you have to point, oh, that's your father's what? Oh, okay. But it's like,
there's no attachment.
No. And they've actually said, we thank you for what you're trying to do, but you know what? Where were they? You don't even have to give us money, but just even call you to say, how are the children
just
doing?
To be there.
Yes, or come for a weekend, or, they come through. It was not, they say, Mom, don't push us.
And that's it.
And that's it. So I've learned to respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can only do so
much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What kind of a relationship did you have with your husband?
We were friends. And that's what I'm saying, God, in his own wisdom, when we were being introduced, I couldn't stand him. I just couldn't. He used to dress up as a Senegalese, and then he had very dark skin. And I just say, at that time, unfortunately, there was that wave of Vasenesene.
So you were very sure it was Vasenesene.
It was Vasenesene, and no, these ones, they just use women. And I'm like, I'm not interested in that man. And they would say, no, but Maureen, first of all, what's wrong with this? And I said, for me, okay, West African men are just not for me.
Yeah.
And the connotation it used to go out with, kufana, just misconceptions and all that. There's really nothing wrong with them.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't want him. No, he just wants to say hello. No. Then unfortunately, we went through a curfew at some point in Zambia, and we were under lockdown, I'll call it, at Intercontinental at the time. So I was working then, and he was housed at Intercontinental as well. So it was like every evening, there's only one restaurant, you're bumping into each other.
Have a now.
Hello. I'll even roll my eyes. This one. And if we meet your friend, anyway, he just wants to be your friend, and I don't want him to even say hello to me. But eventually, we got to be friends, hello. But the cracker was when I had to, there was a trip I had to take to the States, and the sponsor said I had to find my own tickets. And so my friend says, you see, that man works for Zambia Airways. He's the one who can help you get that ticket. You see how God works? And I'm like, yeah. And I was desperate because I had to meet my target. And I'm like, let me just talk to him. And that's how we got talking. And from then on, we got to be friends.
Yeah.
The curfew ended. He would visit me at home. And exactly 1 year later, we were married. He used to tell everyone, he said, Kakopak.
Oh, wow. And you didn't believe that he would actually marry you?
No.
What were you
And
doing?
he wasn't even telling it to me. He was just telling it to my and he was much older than me. And he just said, oh, Kakopak. Karanga, Kakopa. Before I knew it.
Why is it that for most women, that's what we go through? There's this guy that you really don't like, because we tend to have this ideal guy.
Exactly.
I want him to be this, I want him to be that. And then the exact opposite is what shows up.
Exactly.
I think most of us have gone through that. Now, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we continue. I would like us to talk about your ideal man. We take a short break and we'll be right back.
To advertise on this program and enjoy amazing introductory rates, please call us on +260 211 290959 or +260 211 290912 or +260 953 538 000 or send us an email at loyolazam@gmail.com.
Hello and welcome back. If you're joining us now, I am talking to Auntie Maureen Lilanda. She's just sharing who she is, the music, some of the challenges that she's been through in life, and what some of the lessons have been. I want to believe that we're all picking some of the lessons. Personally, I am, and I pray that it is the same for you. So before we went on break, you were talking about how that you just want to be you, you know. When you're on stage, you are Maureen Lilanda, but when you're in your space, you just want to be you.
Exactly.
Now, how are you managing that, especially now that we have social media?
It's tough. We have to be ready to be on camera at all times.
Yeah.
So if you decide to go to the market without a bra, just know that chances of you being on social media tomorrow are high.
And everything will just gonna go viral.
Yeah, so it's a conscious decision that you've made to say, okay, chive. This is me. Yeah, but seriously, it's affected us being real.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that I don't do is I'm not made up every day. You know, I will make myself up for TV, for stage, but for every day, you'll find me without makeup. But at least my dressing has improved. I will not go out in patapatas and
like that.
Yeah.
You make sure that at least the price you're looking so that they capture you on camera.
At least
okay.
Yes.
You know, I experienced something similar. I mean, I was at the airport, and these two ladies were saying, you know, among themselves, they were arguing, no, is she the one? Is she not the one? Is she the one? And I'm thinking, what are they talking about? Hey, what about even WhatsApp? I'm like, oh, really? What is that?
And you know, Mwangala,
we've forgotten who we are.
No, and you see, it's unfair because we're on the spotlight. We're in public domain. But it happens to anybody. It's like a nurse. When she gets home, she will derobe the uniform and become her.
Exactly,
it's like a lawyer. They will take off their suits when they get home. Well, I honestly would like to see someone who is in heels 24/7, even when they've just come from the office and cooking.
And they're heels and they're all made up. You know, there comes a time when, you know, you just want to relax.
And you're going to, you know, be it a gardener, they will take off their overalls. And, you know, so why should it be different for the public figures?
Exactly.
They also needed time to exhale.
Yeah.
You know, but for us, the spotlight is on us. Whatever we do, even if it's normal, it shall be. I mean, look at social media. Even yesterday, you make a comment. Last night I couldn't sleep and I was scrolling, and you know Facebook keeps certain things. And I remember a post when there was that the girls being abducted in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I remember I posted a comment that was just from my heart. But I was looking at this conversation. I said, I can't even believe that I even had this conversation. I should have just ignored it. You know, you're at home. You know, free the girls. Why don't you go to Nigeria? And I'm like, so I can't even think my thoughts. You know, social media also is a bit too harsh on public figures.
Oh yeah.
But now it's also just attacking anybody
and everybody. True. You really have to be careful on what you're saying.
You have to be on your guard.
You always have to be on guard. I think that's not right.
No, it's not.
Now let's talk about the ideal man. I'm going to help you pray. We have to attract this man.
We have received.
We have to attract this man. What are we looking for? Let's be very clear, crystal clear on what we want. Height,
tall.
Complexion,
dark. Looking, good looking.
Good looking.
Yes. Pocket, hefty. Adventurous, yes. Fun, yes. But most importantly, he must know his God.
Amen to that. When you say he must know his God, what do you mean?
He must believe in him, he must serve him. He must know his God.
Is that the same for you?
Yes. For me, Mwangala, I think every every interview I have, I never fail to acknowledge my God. I always say my being is a testimony that God is really there, because things that I've gone through, I mean, I laugh with my children even. I say, I don't even know how I paid your school fees sometimes, because the music industry has its ups and its downs. It has its seasons. And you even know that from January to March, you even not up and idling up. But we never went hungry. We might have eaten in Simayama eggs, but we never went hungry. I might have struggled to pay school fees, but they were never chased out of school. And you see, for me, because I had 4 children, 2 were my sisters who traveled abroad. She left them with me when they were in primary school, and I have 2 biological children. And school fees were really a headache for me, because you can imagine my husband left me when the boy was in grade 1. She must have been like in grade 3. So it's literally all their lives that after that it was on. But they were never chased from school. And then Banzivana Konkana, these 2, my biological, so they were like twins, meaning it's double trouble.
True.
And so when school fees came, you're like, but you see, God always had a plan for me. When I really needed the money most, that's the time that Sun Hotel in Livingstone had opened, and I was I think, if my memory serves me right, I was the first Zambian artist to perform. They used to import artists, and they said, let's try a Zambian artist, because it's too expensive
to bring in somebody from outside.
And at the time that I needed that money, because it was very good money, and they had me every December, and they paid me in dollars. So it helped me like January
to clear
and it was good money. So I just said, God, you really know how to plan these things. When it moved from there, something else would come on. I'm having these people now at the same time at university. They were not on bursary. Somehow, I don't know how.
Oh, that came from mommy.
It managed to go through. And I always say, for me, if I don't acknowledge that God is there, it's a sin. And I don't know what he would do to me, because some of the answers I do not know.
Wow.
I do not know. And we sit and we talk with my children, There's one time my son was reminding me, he says, remember, mommy, there was a time. Oh, he woke up and he says, I just want to say thank you. I said, for what? Being a parent, it's tough. And being in your situation, do you remember there was a time that we didn't have meal in the house? I said, really, eh? Because for me, my memory is very short, which irritates my daughter. And she thinks I do it on purpose. I said, we didn't have meal. Yeah, and then you asked Auntie Chila. Auntie Chila is my young sister. And then you asked Auntie Chila for meal, and then you found that you didn't have fuel in the car. To go and get it. And I'm like, really? He says, yes. And she had to bring it for you, and then she gave you a 20 kwacha.
Oh, wow.
To put
in the car. That was then, in the good days.
And she gave you 20 kwacha so that you could take us to school. No, being a parent, Mom, I appreciate you. And you see, those are the reminders when I just say, okay, you know what? God just took control, because certain things were beyond me at certain times, but we lived to live another day.
Wow.
And things just, even last night, I was saying, I'm wondering how I've got to where I am. You need to be given the wisdom to foresee certain things. You need to have the wisdom to even do it once you've been shown what you need to do. Because most of the time, some of us find ourselves it's too late to do certain things.
Yeah.
But God has always been there for me in the nick of time to open up my eyes, to make me see, and to make me do what I need to do. And I do.
Without hesitation.
Yes.
Now, I know there are a lot of women that are watching out there, and looking at the times that we're in now, times seem to be tough, depending on what that definition is for you. What would your words of encouragement be to somebody who's got small little kids, doesn't even know where the next meal is coming from?
One, I believe, is believing in yourself. I know when times are tough, we are flooded with doubt. I mean, so many a time I doubted myself. You need to surround yourself with people that also will help believe you, or at least show that they believe. They might not believe in you, but
they should just
they're encouraging you
yeah.
to go ahead. People that will make you think outside the box. In fact, these days, when we're even saying there's no outside the box, just surround yourself, consult, ask widely, ask people that might help. Because there are times where there it is, I went to look for meal.
True, yeah.
You know, and I know, but let it not grind you to a halt. There's always hope. Pray. I didn't believe in prayer a long time ago, but now I don't know. It was being explained to me. It's called the spirit of something. You know now. Yes. I always think I'm listening to my conscious, and it will tell me to do something, and the result will show later. So I went and I asked a pastor and say, look, this is what's happening to me of late. I hear a voice talking to me, and they say, oh, it's the spirit talking to you. That's the gift I've acquired of late. And to be honest, it's been helping me in so many things. And that's what I'm saying. You need to learn to listen, and you need to learn to do. So once you've heard that voice, it won't be a voice that you've heard, in the way they do it in the movies, but it will be like a subconscious. So I'm asking the women or whoever that might need it to say, pray, and then listen to your subconscious, because it's the voice of God I've come to believe. Work hard at what you do. I know it might seem pointless sometimes, but keep on striving. They say we are allowed to fall, but it's what happens after we fall. Do we get up and brush ourselves, or do we stay down? I'm urging the women to say, get up, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how many times it looks helpless, just keep on going. Just keep on going. The breakthrough is coming. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So would you say it was easy for you because you had a support system?
It wasn't easy, but it helped. The support system helped, because as much as you would have a support, because I found myself like maybe when I'm on tour, I have to take them to my family. You still had to provide for the children.
Exactly.
Because they'll still say, okay, but kuna ule baleta.
They need
this. So it helped in a way, but it wasn't easy, because I still needed to provide. But it helped in that I knew, one, they are safe, two, they're going to school, that type of thing. It did help. You do need your support system. So even those women out there, find someone that you know can support you willingly and pricelessly, because others,
it's what you need for me.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's not easy, but it can be done.
Okay. Now let's talk about temptations. I mean, this is Maureen Lilanda on stage. She does her thing. She's beautiful. She's got this nice, natural dark skin. And let's talk about the men. How were you able to overcome temptation? Because I know for sure that it was there.
Yeah.
And this is Ignite. You can say, there was a time I was really tempted. It is okay.
No, I'm here to open my heart.
Please open your heart.
Temptations are there. Temptations are still there. But unfortunately, for this one, I'm a tomboy. I've grown up a tomboy. So for me, when I'm with men, and most of the people I work with and get on with are men.
Yeah.
So I think like a man, unfortunately.
And you're comfortable in their space?
Very. I mean, I crack jokes with them. Even when they're speaking in code, they even said, so Maureen Razi. And for sure, my bandsmen don't even talk in code anymore, because they even know I'll laugh with them. And that type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really, maybe it's because I'm never really looking, so even when they do approach me, I find something wrong with them, or I'm not really up to it, that type of thing. And then most of them that try to pursue me are not persistent, because
oh man, I hope the men are listening. So they have to be persistent with you. You can't just
but you can't give out all the trade secrets, Kaidi. So yeah, most of them will like give up, and then others maybe you just hear them ask through their friends, and you know, I know quite a number of gentlemen would go through my bandsmen because they noticed that we were close, and they would even say, Vaisen, Perekani manifesto. But my men know that you know. At one point I remember someone was even saying, you know, when they want to start rumors, she must be lesbian.
Yeah.
Exactly. That type of thing. And I'm like,
there's always a story around.
Exactly. And I'm like, so mundusanga encourage you know. So I haven't really been tempted, I must say.
Throughout your musical career?
I don't think there's anyone that I've really, well, there are those that I have crushes on, but I know they are the untouchable thing. People like Denzel, people like
bring it back home.
But you know what? No. Me, my net is cast white. You know why I say that? And this is why I say I always believe in God and His existence. My first crush when I was still at school was Jonathan Butler. And I remember Pakampasa I even had this cheap.
The one who used to play jazz, I think.
Guitar, yes.
Jazz, yeah.
Even on campus, I had his cheap poster on my wall, and this guy. When I did Sun International, guess who I played with? Jonathan Butler.
Whoa.
And
you
I'm
literally attracted him.
Yes.
In your life.
Yes.
In your reality.
That's why I'm not keeping it home. I'm still crushing even out. You never know.
Denzel.
Our parts, I'm coming, Mwangala. So my crush on Jonathan Butler died. And unfortunately,
okay, so let's talk. You sang with him. You performed with him.
I sang with. I even told him. I
picture.
didn't even hide. I said you used to be my crush. For a long time, and we took pictures. I think even the orphanage, they must have pictures in Livingston. Fast forward many years later, my crush had now moved on to Denzel. Denzel. And you know, it's just my story. Mommy, I was privileged to go to London. No, was it? No, it was Johannesburg. Anyway. No, it was London.
Yeah.
And we're at this VIP backstage. It was Nelson Mandela's birthday. I was taken to perform, to represent Zambia. Till VIP, go backstage, chan. Slap me and wake me. Oh, you're Denzel. Hey, my cameraman, please.
Pictures.
Let me be now serious. Mwangala, imagine the chances of that happening.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen like that.
Exactly.
It's God. And I will attract even wa kunja. I'm not keeping it home. I am attracting you. Wherever it's just that now I don't have a crush. Wako abroad.
Are you sure?
No. You know?
No crush
I
from
need
abroad.
to start thinking of that.
No, so you start thinking, what do you want? You've already told us what you want. And guess what? You are on air. So what you've literally done is you have allowed the universe to say, I'm here, I'm open. This is what I want. That's just what you've done.
And it can be local, it can be international, as long as it just fits those descriptions. But I am just confirming the power of God.
Yeah.
And I've been saying it jokingly, but the chances of me meeting what really was going on, and as much as they were just crushes, but I've been blessed to have met them. You know, and I remember my husband was very upset with Denzel because when my child was born, he looked like Denzel. So I even told him, I said, Daddy, one day I'm a trip sinjako. I met Denzel. He was upset. I mean,
That was just for jokes.
just for jokes. The chances of me even
Of course. But everything, you know, what you're just telling us is that anything is possible.
yes,
There are no
especially
limitations.
with God, anything is possible.
Yeah, there are no limitations
No.
as to what one can achieve.
No.
So we take a short break, and you know we cannot end this interview without you singing for us. In fact, you're going to do a full performance for us.
Yeah.
And I'm going to join you. Because that's one of the things I want to do. You've said there's nothing impossible with God. So I'm telling God, I want to sing.
Okay.
So I will sing.
You will know the song I will sing?
Of course, you tell me the song that you're going to sing. So we take a short break, and when we come back, we go straight into some of her favorite musics. Don't go away.
To advertise on this program and enjoy amazing introductory rates, please call us on +260 211 290959 or +260 211 290912 or +260 953 538 000 or send us an email at loyolazam@gmail.com.
Welcome back. If you're joining us now, I'm still talking to Maureen Lilanda, and she was just telling us how that anything and everything is possible with God. Nothing is impossible. But for me, I like to call it the law of attraction. It's something that you call forth in your reality. I think that's what it is. And of course, that is God telling me about Denzel Washington. I'm thinking now, who is my crush? If I don't, I have any. Now let's talk about your music. What inspires you to write some of your songs that you write?
Life and emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happens in life, and depending on how it takes you, I write.
Wow. Okay, so life and emotion, that is critical for you.
Yeah.
So do you get like inspiration? Do you get downloads? I mean, how do you just get into this writing mode? I know you write some of the songs.
Most of them are from experiences, I must say. I'll experience something, the emotion comes in, and I'm inspired. Yeah, so yeah, that's basically my inspiration is life. Whatever happens,
Yeah.
it will inspire.
So when did you know that you actually had this ability to write? Or when did you realize that you had this knowing that you were called forth to sing?
Well, at a very, I think my siblings would tell you very irritatedly, because I would write songs as a child. In grade Chakuti, I was writing silly little songs. So I think by then it didn't occur to me that that was songwriting. For me, it was just making up some music, and that was
and
it.
you drive.
But it was only when I became professional that I then was told, oh, this is actually called songwriting, and it's important to the business that you be able to. You don't have to, but it's an added advantage, because you have to pay people to write songs for you and all that. So yeah, I think I became aware that I could write. Maybe when I was 18, 19. Then it hit me to say.
So do you have specific times when you want to write?
No.
I know you've talked about life, you talked about it being emotions, but do you have a specific time, like 3 o'clock I wake up, I have to write this song?
No.
It just happens?
Once it happens, it just happens. You scribble wherever you are.
Oh, so you always have to have a paper and a pen wherever
Well,
you
now
are.
with the coming of my smartphones,
smartphones,
you
just on the phone.
record.
And that's
okay,
it.
I'll visit you later when I'm not busy.
Okay. So how many songs would you say you've done, you've written? A lot, huh?
Yeah, a lot.
Can we pick a few songs from there? Maybe, I know you're going to sing at least, how many songs? 2 songs?
A cappella.
Am I pushing it? Of course, a cappella. I mean, you are Maureen Lilanda. You can do a cappella, you can do... I know you've talked about working on an album that is coming out soon. What are some of your favorite songs on that album?
This one. I think for this particular project, I've had more people write for me than myself. And unfortunately, I'm loving all the songs.
Okay.
You know, this one writes this one.
They
I'm like,
resonate with who you are.
yes. And it because they've picked, I told them I want to write about this.
Yeah.
I want to sing about this. So can you pick up my thoughts, and I'll give them what I have put down, and when they bring it back, and I'm like, well, when I'm at home in the studio and my daughter, she comes maybe midnight, you're still awake, yes, she goes, this is the best thing that ever happened to you. Why?
Yeah,
It's
because
just you sit there, and you're listening to all the songs that are being done, and you think, okay, after this one I'll switch off. You don't. I'm just loving all of them.
Oh, amazing.
Or they have done justice, and I can't wait to share them with the world.
Okay, so when are you sharing the songs with us? Sometime before the end of the year?
No, definitely. Definitely. We're almost done. I'll be giving to my teasers soon. But yeah, I'm really excited.
Okay, no COVID song on that album?
The COVID songs we did. No, we did for Ministry of Health.
Okay.
Those are a different project. This is now.
You don't want to
more,
focus there?
No.
Okay, so 2 songs from that album.
From the new album?
At least one.
At least one. No, not from the new album.
Not yet.
No.
Okay,
I'll give you from last year's album.
Okay, so let's talk about last year's album. What inspired you to come up with that album before we do the songs? And by the way, I never shared with you what my dream has been.
No.
My childhood dream? Of course, the first childhood dream was TV. I love being,
Okay.
This is one of them.
Okay.
Second one, singing. To be rest assured, I'm going to be singing with you.
So we have a swap here.
Okay.
You'll be taking me jogging. I'll be training you how to sing.
Oh, fantastic. So that's a deal.
It's a deal, okay?
Okay.
It's on camera.
Is my voice okay?
There's no
So
voice
far?
that can't sing. You just have to find the style that you
I
can
just
sing.
love that. She just said there's no voice that can't sing.
No.
Oops.
You just find the style that suits the type of voice.
Okay, so
Tina Turner, Rod Stewart, there's so many examples I can give you. There's so many. They found what suits their voices. I think people thought they would never sing. But
okay, and they can sing.
and Macy Gray,
Okay.
Fantasia was told she sounded like Donald Duck, but hey,
There she is.
there she is.
You have just given me hope. And I'm sure I'm not the only one you've given this hope to. So many people out there thinking, I thought I couldn't sing, but now I can sing. Okay, so let's pick two songs from last year's album.
And she's insisting on last year.
Of course,
on
because
two
you
albums,
said
two songs.
two songs. So before I let you do your thing, what is the message in those songs? Why are you going to particularly pick those two? Because I don't know them.
Okay, Love Me a Lie is just talking about, you know how partners will tell you they love you, but they're cheating on you. So it's Love Me a Lie. So you told me you love me, and it's a lie. I believed you, and you broke my heart. But for me, the inspiration was coming from, and actually my son helped me write this one, is it was like an afterthought to my husband. We did this last year. He's been gone over 20 years or so. I just said, look, but you told me you'd love me, but you went. Yes, it says till death do us part, but you went too soon. So, but we just put it in a musical form, not to make it too gloomy, and so that's Love Me a Lie. Second one, I'll have to think about which one I'll sing. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not the whole song, right? You just pick. I don't really want to put you on the spot like that.
Love Me a Lie, you'd have to hear the whole of it to make sense.
Okay, fantastic. You don't mind giving us a whole?
No, I don't.
I love you, Maureen Lilanda. In front of everybody. She's going to sing the whole song. And the next song?
We'll see.
Okay.
Which one it is.
All right. Okay. So, Love Me a Lie it is.
Okay. Bali wenalila, bali wenavutika mtima, bali wenalila, nakangi wa kushansha. You said you love me a lie, love me a lie. Love me was all just a lie. Your lies are founded on truth. I found some truth in your lies. But if my heart falls for you one more time, I'll rip it out of my chest and take one deep breath and learn to think with my mind. Sometimes I trip and I fall. Your words were so beautiful. They sent chills right down my spine. You said you love me a lie, love me a lie. Love me was all just a lie. Koma bali wenalila, bali wenavutika mtima, bali wenalila, nakangi wa kushansha. You said you love me a lie, love me a lie. Love me was all just a lie. Well, I can't blame it on you, 'cause I knew what you do, yet I still stuck here with you. I thought I saw our love grow, I never thought it would go. I thought I saw our flower bloom. Now I'm lying on the floor, singing sad songs. It's all because of you. You said you love me a lie, love me a lie. love me was all just a lie. Koma bali wena lila, bali wena vutika mtima, bali wena lila, nakangi wa kushasha. Love me a lie, love me a lie, love me was all just a lie. Love me a lie, love me a lie, love me was all just a lie.
Wow. Oh my God. You were born for this. Whew. Okay.
Did you get the message?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I mean, I did get the message. Oh my God.
Good.
You spoke to my soul, because I think that's the truth.
I think all of us have experienced that once in our life. I mean, very few of us marry our school sweethearts.
Oh, yeah.
There's been some heartbreak somewhere,
Yeah,
but the point is get up and go. After that, it's what you do when you fall. Do you stay down or do you rise up, dust yourself and say, deny.
Oh, wow. That's so true. Of course, I'm not going to ask you to sing another song. You might just see me tearing, because that song took me years back, but it's the truth. I think I'm even forgetting what to ask. That should have come right at the end of the interview. But hey, let's do this. If you were on your deathbed and you were given a second chance to live, what are some of the things you do differently?
Oh, I think I would live my life the same way. I've always been tempted. I'm a trained journalist and all that, and my children always say, you see, you'd have been in the corporate world, life would have been easier, but maybe life wouldn't have had the same meaning.
Yeah.
So as much as I'd be tempted to change some things, I don't think I would. It's just that, okay, I'm an addict to Coca-Cola and the first
Coca-Cola?
Imagine. I don't drink water. I drink Coke.
Why is that?
I'm just addicted to Coke.
Can you promise me one thing?
It depends on what you want me to promise.
Can we slowly start reducing on the Coca-Cola?
I've tried.
How many do you take in a day?
I don't know. Those that know me well know. They will just say, yeah. I've tried. I fail. I try to drink water.
Is that your addiction?
Yes, unfortunately. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. My biggest fault is Coca-Cola. So maybe those are the two things. If I had to change something in my life, I would say, please, don't let me get. We know we frost the fridge. I have one car fridge, kamu 1913, if not 1822. Kamu old fashioned, but it produces frost like.
So you keep it because
I keep it just for that. I put it back on because it's still making. It's just there for the sake of fraud. That's how bad the addiction is. I must have it. So if there were two things, it's just not wanting the Coke and not want. I'm told it's a deficiency in iron, but it means I've had that deficiency from when I was young, because I remember my mother hitting me for scraping that. But
you still do it anyway.
50 years onwards, I'm still doing it. So those are the two things.
So your final remarks as we come to the end of the show. What do you want to tell the people out there?
Life is precious. Life is real. Might sound like a cliche. And what we're going through now is that God is reminding us that we should be extra careful with our lives. Look after yourself so that you can look after others. Keep yourselves masked up. He's brought us this far for a reason, so don't let us waste the reason. I've enjoyed being on air. I thank you for the opportunity. I thank you for helping me share and spread the word. And mask up, sanitize, and stay safe.
Fantastic. I'm happy that you came. Just tell me how you feel. Do you feel liberated somehow?
Yes, I feel like some weight has been lifted because there's certain things that I don't talk about. I don't know whether it's the right platform. And as I say, I'm mindful of who might watch it. So I'm hoping that the words that I used are not hurtful, but they were truthful. So, I've felt some weight off my shoulder, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome. That's what we're here for. We're here for each other.
Thank you.
So see you soon. I don't want to say goodbye because I know you're coming back very soon.
I'm a phone call away.
Phone call away for sure. There you have it. I was talking to Mama Maureen Lilanda. You know, Zambia cannot talk about its musical story without mentioning her name. She was sharing her story. She was telling us who she is. And it is my prayer that we have learned something from her. Personally, I have been touched by her story. I have been touched particularly by her music. Remember to make every day count, especially in these times that we're in. This has been Mwangala Chakalashi Santos. Join me for another exciting episode of Ignite with Mwangala.